Hey guys, what's up? So I got a unboxing and review here. It is the F1 Firearms M4. This is one of the race guns. Now I believe these are OEM APS. This is a customer's gun, if I didn't already mention that. This is being HPA'd, so the gearbox is totally going away. But I felt like I'd make a review on the stock gun itself. I did read up on some information on it, and apparently these things are coming with MOSFETs that are put into the S&T Avengers M4s, the same MOSFET, and I have been really happy with those MOSFETs. I own a gun with one of those in there, the Avengers M4s, and my brother has one still too. He doesn't play with his, of course, but I've messed with mine plenty to know that it's a decently quality gun for what, they're like 150 bucks. Now this is more expensive, so let's just go ahead and open the hood and I'll just keep blabbering. So again, this is OEM APS, but it's the F1 Firearms. Oh wow, this thing is nice. So it is the blue version, and it is this short barrel version. This is supposed to be 350 FPS as well, but since it is going to be HPA, that actually really doesn't matter. Comes with the cleaning rod back there. Here's the gun. It comes with a barcode sort of thing, and then a basic plastic high cap. Looks like an APS. Yeah, Hakatsu, which is APS. So I really do think these are OEM APS. Now, this one is $300, which is actually pretty pricey for an APS internal gun. Now, like I said, on the pictures, it looked like there is MOSFETs inside of these. The MOSFETs that are in the Avengers M4s that are really, really nice. So for a $300 gun, which actually this costs over $300, it was like $320 when I got it on eBay, because the price dropped, I think, like 20 bucks. But they're around $300 to $350 new. And again, this is purchased new, straight from eBay. As far as first impressions, I love the color, and seems pretty solid. I do hear the micro switch, so we will confirm on the shooting if it is a micro switch, one of those MOSFETs that I'm thinking about, because they are cycle completion and they have no trigger delay. So if I'm able to do this, then I know exactly what MOSFET is in here. Alright, so I went ahead and loaded the stock high cap and a Crytek high cap. Now, this is actually the first gun that I am custom building for a customer that's actually going overseas. So, the guy that owns this gun, basically, he sent me all the money, and I purchased everything off eBay and one other website I went to for everything. But he paid me, and I ordered everything to my house, so it wouldn't have to go to him in Europe and then back to me. So he is in Europe. It's like Austria is where I'm shipping to, but he plays in Germany too, supposedly. So this is going to be basically mainly a indoor gun for tournaments, he says, but he will play at outdoor fields. So it being HPA, he's going to be able to have tunability for FPS, and for tournaments, I mean, the quick trigger response is going to be great for him. That's as good as it's going to get. 255, 255, 248, 251, 251, 248, 253, 250, 257. So that is with a 2.5. So it is about 250 to 260 with a 2.5. This is supposed to be a 350 FPS version, not a 300, because this is about 300 with .2. So it's pretty dang low on the FPS scale. And it's pretty inconsistent as far as the hop-up, too. These APS guns do not have good hop-up systems out of the box. They don't. They're bad. Like, this gun does not shoot very good. Extra shot midget here. So this is one of the CQB F1 Firearms M4. So this is more of a race gun style, as you can see. This is OEM by APS, if I'm not mistaken. I will say they did It's a silver edge gearbox, but they actually have a silver edge gearbox with a MOSFET now. It seems like the MOSFET that comes in them does have a delay on semi-auto, but regardless, it actually is very nice. The trigger response is actually pretty good out of the box. Now, obviously, it is HPA. This is actually being sent to Europe, so this is my first overseas build. Pretty excited for it. It's a pretty nice gun. It is plain. There's no sights or grips or flashlight or anything because I purchased this from Evike and had it shipped to my house. So when it ships out to him, I think he's messing around with buying some attachments, like an optic, maybe a grip or something up here, flashlight, whatever. Because this is going to be used for tournaments, he said, for, I guess, Speedsoft tournaments. He said he does play outdoors as well, so I told him, you know, pop some high caps in here, some .3s, and play with it outdoors. And then indoor tournaments require mid caps. He can use mid caps and 2.5s. So that is the plan with this gun. Obviously semi-auto only for indoor. So let's just start from the back and go to the front on this gun. So I will probably post some video footage of me shooting the stock gun. The body on here is, I believe it's actually Cerakoted. It might be anodized, but it is blue. The blue that they chose is actually pretty nice. I like the colors, a brighter blue, a little bit brighter than the sweatshirt that I have on. But it looks nice. Some would probably describe it as like a baby blue. It honestly looks great. It's very unique. You don't see many people running around with guns like this. So the ambidextrous selector switch system had to be taken out. So the selector switch over here is just on the one side. It does function flawlessly, but it is missing on this side, just the way the Fusion engine works. It wouldn't line up very well. The charging handle is also kind of different. You can just yank it out because the charging handle assembly is built into the top of the gearbox. And since we ditched the gearbox, there's no mounting spots on the Fusion engine to mount all the charging handle hardware. So that's why this is like that. That means the bolt lock function is also non-functional because there is no fake bolt attached to the Fusion engine like it was attached to the gearbox. But you have basic functions like the mag catch and the selector switch. Safe semi full auto. There is skeletonizing here on the mag, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. Monolithic top rail. The rail system on the front has key mod on the left, right, and bottom. And then it has this cutout here for your hand. The rail is light. It's actually a really light gun now that the Fusion engine's in here. It is very light. Moving along, it has a silver barrel, which is actually pretty cool. It looks nice. And then the F1 flash hider, which is nice. I do recommend him to take this out, the orange tip, and I talked to him about this. I told him I wanted to keep it on here for shipping overseas because it's a U.S. law to ship guns with orange tips. As far as settings and everything, closed bolt, I'm running 35 rounds a second for outdoor. Again, outdoor, he's going to use .3s and high caps. But for indoor, 2.5s and semi-auto. Since it is set for 35 rounds a second, he's still going to shoot 350 with a .2 because it is high rate of fire. He's not going to run 400 and high rate of fire. So he's running 35 at 350 indoor and out. Just outdoor will be heavier BBs, get a little bit more joules on the actual individual shots. And it will also just fight the wind more outdoors. But 2.5s will be fine for indoors. So as far as the engine, it's got a new valve on here because they come with the hose, so that was glorious because the one that was on here was leaking. So a new valve, HPA speed trigger, it's got the red low flow poppet, a blue nozzle, and no QEV, and that's it. Alright, I lied, we're skipping the chrono, I didn't bring it out here. Just believe me, 90 PSI shoots 350 with the 2. And it does get 35 rounds a second. The engine probably could get a little bit higher. Probably maxes out at 40. But I just went ahead and did 35 because Fusion engines love to run great at 35. So let's go ahead and start shooting here. This is a Crytek high cap with 2.5s. Has some decent hit to it. try full auto. And as you can see there on semi-auto, it does totally fine with mid-caps. So I ended up doing 30 rounds a second. Again, I was having problems on full auto with range and consistency. All of a sudden, I tried different buckings and different barrels even. Couldn't pin it down, so I just lowered the rate of fire, tuned the settings a little bit, and 30 rounds a second is where it sits and shoots pretty great. Again, about 200 feet. So, try a mid-cap here. This gun is so light. Alright, so I'm running out of air, but that is pretty much it for this video. So I know the gun is bare bones. I think a T1 with a riser would look perfect on this thing, and then like one of the TLR flashlights. That'd be sick. So it's just got to get customized. Other than that, it shoots great. Unfortunately, I can only get 30 rounds a second out of it, but it does shoot great. It really does. So awesome gun. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one.